No problem, sir. Seven.
So, good morning, friends. Today we are starting our 37th session of this program, first of today. And with us, we are having Professor A.N. Shankar. He is Head Department of Commerce in Sikkim University. He is former Dean of the School of Commerce and Management in Sikkim University. And he is going to talk on developmental implications of commerce curriculum. So, Professor Shankar, we are having some 33 or 34 participants in this course. Majority of them are from commerce background, some 20, and nearly 10 are from 9 or 10 are from economics, and 2, 3 from management. And they are representing some 14 states scattered from there. From Mizoram, only 2 are there. Rest all are from other states. Coincidentally, no one from Sikkim. If I'm no one is from Sikkim. So anyway, you can start from here.
Right, sir. Thank you very much, sir, for giving me the opportunity to be a part of a refresher course you are organizing for the participants from variety of fields, majority from commerce and then some are from other disciplines as well. So thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to interact with the members of faculty from um, Mizoram and other parts of India. Thank you very much, sir. So, shall I start? Today's my talk will be on, it's
Yes,
an
yes.
interaction basically. It will be on
Okay.
developmental implications of commerce curriculum. All right. My name is Professor A.N. Shankar. I am from Department of Commerce, Sikkim University, and I have been a part of Mizoram University prior to joining Sikkim University. And that's how I put up around 27 years of teaching experience at various colleges and universities. I have around, say, 20 odd publications are there with to my credit. And then now, due to my exposure to this new national education policy on commerce curriculum development, so that experience I just would like to share with you all. Hope you all also have been a part of this exercise extensively in your respective institutions, and we found certain limitations. But let us see how can we overcome those aspects. So let us define commerce. What is commerce all about? Okay, let us revisit to our definition. So it's as a process when we see it's activities involved from sourcing of raw materials to production and delivering the supplies to ensure the goods and services reach doorstep of final consumer. So that's how is the word commerce is defined as a process. So here what happens, well, the sourcing of raw materials are possible if and only we identify what kind of products planning to develop or produce, what kind of services we are planning to provide to the customers. Okay, these thoughts are to be there beforehand. So the process of placing the orders, identifying the quality of raw material, and then identifying suitable source of location of the raw material, location of industry. Okay, all these are the parts of commerce. It's very inclusive. It's very localization of industry is a part of it, sourcing of raw material, sourcing of labor, and then what happens is that we try to fund them, Then again, we have these financial institutions that are intermediating with the liquidity. They are infusing liquidity to various processes. Then again, we have logistics. So production to the warehouses, from the warehouses to the distribution section, from distribution section to the final steps of the doorsteps of the customer. So these all processes are included in the field of commerce. Okay. Next, we have as an adjective when people see us. How do people see us? They see us when we say it's commercial. It's all commercial. The word commercial. Okay. There's a mean-minded people. All right, profit-oriented people, most commonly understood in terms of money. Okay, we are subject to criticism. The word commercial is used as sarcasm in many of the occasions. So the subject is our course, our curriculum. Okay, our discipline is subject to criticism as well. Okay, nobody say you are a mathematician. Nobody say you are a physician. They'll say you are commercial. All right. So these are some things that we are facing from the other discipline people, or some certain type of usages. We find that the word commercial stands to be for mean mind. But is it wrong to be profit oriented? That's one question. Is it wrong to be objective oriented? This is the question that we need to raise. It's not wrong. It's not wrong. As far as it is justified, it is not wrong. Next is as an academic discipline. As an academic discipline, commerce delves into domain knowledge of variety of disciplines that are supporting the cause of each and every process, that is identification of worth, effectiveness, and efficiency of various subcomponents of activities and processes that can be measured and reported in order to maximize efficacy, effectiveness, or services on time, right? With punctuality, right? With adequate attributes not being distorted. Okay, but whereas efficiency stands for minimizing the expenditure by optimizing the outputs or the results. All right. So combination of these two will be known as efficacy. Combination of these two is known as efficacy. And to maximize that on the discipline of commerce offers various subjects. It draws knowledge from various courses. So again, I'll just get into the as an academic discipline, identification of worth, effectiveness, and efficiency of various sub-components of activities and processes that can be measured and reported in order to maximize efficacy for each of the input of resources and transform it optimally for target output. Next, what are the various approaches to the discipline of commerce? Okay, what are the approaches? So what do we have here? We have creative presentation. Okay, we have creativity therein. So any product or service developed must to be marketed, to be of public utility, to be popular, needs to be unique. So what we call maybe innovation, maybe an invention. It may be a combination of some past practices which were newly attempted. So it's an art. It's creative aspect. When we approach to the discipline, it's also scientific in nature. It's also scientific in nature. Okay, we do reasoning and testing often. Okay, lots of reasoning is there and lots of testing is there that goes on into each and every business proposition, entrepreneurial proposition, transactional proposition, positioning the office, setting the office, all right, location of the various hierarchies. Okay, so these all things have lots of reasoning that goes into arrangement, organizing, planning. A lot of reasoning gets into it, and testing. That's how we have scientific approach as well towards discipline. Next, we go from where we are and we try to plan for the future as well. Futuristic in nature, we do take into consideration we
Yes. Not on communication. No communication. So I can tell that. Yes. Now it is 10:20.
10 minutes.
If they come, tell them to go there. Opposite room.
Sorry, I was just interrupted. So for present to future, we take into consideration the advances. The advances such as we cannot stick ourselves to the conventional payment systems and receipt system, conventional banking system in the era of online banking, in the era of mobile banking, in the era of fintechs. Measure of banking for the purpose of investments. We cannot stick to our conventional methods. Okay, our discipline has to consider the advances that are taking place in the ground. Okay, ground level reality, on-time upgradation. These are all things we take into consideration. Now, what we have is in our hands is artificial intelligence and machine learning algorithms are there. So how they are affecting commerce, that also we need to take into consideration. However, they are this AI, yeah. However, the AI and ML, they are applicable to all disciplines, and it is nothing new for commerce. Okay, and most of the disciplines, they also ensure that there is a value, there is a worth therein. Then only the application of AI and ML takes place. Next, we have this references of past for insights into present and future. Okay, references into past, we say history. We have to look back what happened earlier in an earlier technological advancement era, like introduction of computers in 1990 in India for banking system. So there were some kind of resistance was there. So how did we overcome that resistance? How did the customers take it? How does the bankers has taken it? Okay. So these points must never be forgotten. So we need to always refer to our past as well.
No, you have to go.
So reference to past is equally essential. Whenever certain legal cases are there related to commercial transactions, there also just jurisprudence is drawn by referring to the past cases. Okay, be it technological advances, be it any kind of turbulence in the market. Okay, related to product like televisions. If you can see now, we are most of us are using the flat television, flat screens, whereas earlier were LCD screens or LED screens, whereas earlier there were televisions with tubes, vacuum tubes were there. So how did it phase out? What those companies are doing? These all things are to be also kept in mind, such that for advancement, how shall we adopt different to those circumstances? We have to keep our students ready for that. And next is, what are the mosaic of domains that commerce touches upon? So we have knowledge domains, such as few of them I'm mentioning here. It's not everything here. I've mentioned a few of them from where we draw our knowledge. So mathematics, we draw our knowledge. Okay, our BODMAS formula we do apply, as and when accounting, taxation, finance-related aspects are there. Even for statistics also, we apply BODMAS-related aspects. Then next one is, we have law. So law also we do adopt, because any product or service that are to be offered has to be legally recognized. Okay, it needs a legal recognition. Any business has to start with, needs a legal recognition, and then state has its mechanism to evolve those legal mechanisms. How an organization is going to operate, how an organization is going to form, how it is going to dissolve. These all things are essential. So we draw a lot of knowledge from law. Then again, from economics. We draw a lot of knowledge from economics, because we have to observe the demand, we have to observe the supply. So that's how we teach these subjects to our students. These are common. Likewise, taxation. So taxation as a subject is essential for the purpose of uh, uh, accounting, for the purpose of individuals who are salaried, for the purpose of businessmen, for the purpose of business organizations as well. That's why taxation becomes very important, because now businesses are not operating only in one political boundary. Okay, like Amazon, etc. So what they are doing? So they are operating in different countries. So different tax rules they have to remember. If one have to expand, means they have to incorporate several laws into their offerings of the business. Then again, they have to also abide by several tax policies. Okay, of each and every country, how they take the transactions and how they will be taxed. So that's why taxation is equally important. We cannot say that some places or some regions are exempt from taxes. So teaching of taxation is not required. No, teaching of taxation is not required. So okay, to the extent its local application is concerned, but when it comes to cosmopolitan or global application, we find that this is equally important. Likewise, we draw a lot of knowledge from geography and accounting. Accounting, we have a number of sub variations like financial accounting, we have cost accounting, all right, management accounting. So these very broad disciplines are there. Further, when we go, we have social accounting, okay, government accounting. So various such subjects are there from where we draw the knowledge. So our students needs to have exposure. What I mean to say here is students need to have exposure to all these disciplines. Okay, so this adds to our complication. This adds to our complication. What to include, what to exclude in our curriculum. So then again, when we get into our research aspect also, not only for students' curriculum, but also in our research aspects, when we see, we have to look at the level of dynamism that these subjects have. That is how frequently they change. How frequently they change. So we have these changes as moderately. Mathematics does change, does have developments and advances, but not to that extent that is affecting our regular functioning of our businesses or regular functioning of our academic institutions or the curricula. Okay, but law does deviates highly because it all depends upon the case-to-case basis, the types of products that are being introduced in the market. Like just now, also we can see the GST rates for online gaming. It is changing time and again. Okay, e-commerce laws to regulate the e-commerce platforms, laws to regulate the fintechs. They are yet evolving because one need to have convergence at global stage. Okay, at global level, one need to have an agreement. The next we have economics. It's also changing. The dynamics they keep on changing. Like it has got that are affecting the site. Next we have and micro factors as well. We can't deny because when you look at the history of economics development in India, you find that first and foremost we were towards primary occupation, then post-independent era we were more oriented towards secondary occupation, whereas sectors they started contributing post 1990s to the extent of 1/3. So there is a transition, there is a change. So one need to keep on upgrading the contents accordingly. The next one is taxation. It changes. We all know there will be declaration from the center that what will be the tax rates and what type of taxation that we are going to opt for direct taxes and as well as for the indirect taxes. Or regularly when we refer to this Financial Express or Business Standard, we find one or the other news is there related to tax aspects. Then again, there's a level of dynamism. That's how I mentioned here. If any questions, you can just put it. Hello, could you hear me, all of you? Am I audible?
Yes, yes, you are audible, audible.
Thank you, sir. I was just afraid.
So far, no questions. So you can continue.
Right, sir. So let me just something here. Power off. Okay, so this is a pictorial presentation of levels of dynamism of each of the subjects that we are having. So we have mathematics here. You can just see they are less dynamic. Geography is less dynamic. Accounting is less dynamic as a subject. However, when it comes to versatility of each and every subject, we see that they are applied to across several disciplines. You can see by the colors. So here you can see the versatility of across other disciplines. So mathematics is a highly applicable across all other disciplines. So our research aspects, etc., must be limited to our objectives only, that is applied aspects only, not to their theoretical aspects. Otherwise, we end up deriving, knowing and the derivation of one of the formula instead of knowing the application in the field of commerce. The next one is law. Law versatility of law is more moderate because it is not applicable to all. It is law and legal studies, I mean to say. It is not applicable to all the aspects because research and development sciences and all, they do not go by the law when they are conducting the experiments. They have certain laws, but not to that extent it is versatile. So though it is applicable, but the experiments are not totally regulated, 100% regulated. They are, to some extent, they are regulated in the interest of society. The next one is economics. It is highly versatile. Then taxation was very low versatile because mostly related to accounting aspects and monetary aspects, and then to the state and the relationship between state and the individual or the company or a citizen. Next one is geography. It is moderately versatile.
Shankarji, your PPT is not in presentation. Make it full screen.
Right, sir.
I think some escape or something has happened.
Yeah, I'll just press another.
And you are not visible also. Your video. Oh, okay.
Now am I visible,
Stop.
sir?
No, you are not visible and your slide also gone. I think you have to share again.
Sure, sir. I'm sharing it again, sir. Is the slide sharing, sir?
Yeah. Visible, but side panels and top menus are also visible. So make it full
So
screen.
how shall I take out this menu? Okay, these are minimized here. Minimize it, sir.
No, this is full screen. This presentation mode just before this zoom, that scroll bar. Down. Yeah, this one. Yes, fine.
Now it is fine, sir.
Yes, fine. Yes. And but you are not
Thanks.
visible. Your video is off or?
My video is off probably.
Okay, no problem. Continue. Oh, but this is again small now.
Okay. To off for video. Okay, no, not required. I'll just turn on my video out here, sir.
Okay, fine. No problem. But make it full screen again. Yes. Okay.
Yeah. Fine, sir.
Fine.
So I was at this slide only. I did not change the slide.
Okay.
So I was talking about versatility, that's across the disciplines, how each discipline is spread across all other disciplines. We find mathematics, economics, they are highly spread, and then there are some subjects which are not highly spread. They are moderately because they are very much specific to the field of business and their processes. ICT is highly spread. It is applicable everywhere. Then So when we conduct certain research, etc., we are driven by either of these subjects' versatility at times, by losing the focus on our research or the objective aspect or the subject area to which it is required, like mobile app for fintech. So we need not going for developing an app. Instead, we can think about what is required, a plan of workflow, algorithm, etc., will be taken care of by the computer professionals. So till this extent, we are supposed to know. That's what is the meaning of this versatility, and why we should restrict ourselves. Then again, theoretical inputs when we see. So we find that some of the subjects that I mentioned about mathematics, law, economics, taxation, geography, taxation, they are highly theoretical. Whereas application oriented, when we see our subjects such as business studies, okay, so they are application oriented, management application oriented. So our contents in the curriculum should be why this entire table. Our contents in the curriculum, we are required to monitor in a manner that application application oriented teaching is more done instead of too much of theoretical aspects, unless the candidates or the students or the learners interest is focused towards research. So that's how it is, sir. Next one. This is the presentation of pictorial presentation of what I have discussed above. Okay. Then next is commerce curriculum guided by a professional body? Now, please answer these questions in the chat box so that I can please put these put your contentions. I need everybody's contention out here. Yes, very good, Madhavan sir. I could read it. Someone else? See, if we are on online means I have also taught during the COVID period to my students, and I'm sure they all are participating. So here I request you all to please. Not sure, sir. Very good. Very good. Very good. Ashok, sir. Very good. Next. Please respond simultaneously because I love interactive mode rather than one-sided teaching. So ICMA for auditing standard. Very good, sir. Very good. Some other people, there are only two people appearing out here. CA, NSCS, very good, very good, very good. Someone else. Lovely. Sir, Madhavan sir, you are only there. Others are not there. DM sir is there. Please put in the text box. Tiwari sir, yeah, very good. Someone else? I could see 3-4 people. 3 people only, not 4 people. There are 34 in the class. Simultaneously, one can type. Okay. I will be waiting till in the next slide for all other participants to place their thing. Otherwise, that will be discouraging for every teacher like that. Because everyone have to reach this stage as well from that stage. So, Rajesh sir, very good. Pradesh sir, very good. So, my question is like that because this question was asked to me while we were devising the curriculum, and then we wanted to have our own credit scores, etc. So I said, no, your body is your body of knowledge is not governed by a single professional body. We are not affiliated to any single professional body like that of the this one medical sciences or like that of the computer application for AICTE. Okay, there is no such body that is governing us, but we are governed by multiple bodies. We are governed by multiple bodies. Our knowledge is governed by multiple bodies that nobody is recognizing because there is no single body. Okay, we have multiple bodies. We have IFRS, we have IRSB, we are following ICAI. Then again, we have banking. This one, Basel rules are guiding our contents in the curriculum. All right, RBI rules, RBI rates are there. Okay, UGC. Okay, fine. That's for overall. That's for overall. UGC is doing. Yeah, that's for overall for all of us. Okay, very good, Sachinji. Next one is we have this SEBI regulating rules for the purpose of investments. So we are also including that in our syllabus. Okay. And then we have this IRDA regulating the insurance services. That also becomes a part of our syllabus. Okay. So we are not governed by one professional body. Rather, we are governed by several professional bodies. Our contents are governed by several the CBDT, Central Board of Direct Taxes. So every time we change our rules, so we can put some kind of clauses there. As the moment it becomes applicable, that becomes a part of our curriculum within 6 months. Okay, so like that. That's why this question is raised. So next one is, you can just see here, objectives of opting for commerce. To become a politician, yes or no? Can you answer these questions, please? Can you become a politician after opting for commerce subject? Thank you, MS sir, for motivating. Yeah, very good. We can become good politician also. Then next one is, can we become network administrator? So can we become a developer? Now this is the era. This is the era where we are. This is the era where we are. We have some conventional expectations from commerce students. You become a chartered accountant. And software development is also there. One of my +2 friend is Remit to Mika inventor, Mr. Naushad contractor. So he's a Remit to Mika inventor. Remit to me, that is a internet portal for the purpose of exchanging money. It's a fintech portal for exchanging money from across various countries. Okay, international transactions can be done there. Okay, with the help of that. Okay, and software developing is also possible. There is no restriction as such. If a person knows and is interested and passionate about with logics, one can always get there also. Software, not only marketing. Marketing is that's a conventional aspect. Marketing is there, but in addition, software development is also there. Okay, so that's what I just wanted to share with you all, that there is every possibility that one can become a network administrator. So there is no domain. Just see, there is no domain specific career of a upcoming student. All right. So we have to have a different opinion in all. That वो accounts पे भी कर सकता है, audit कर सकता है, entrepreneur बन सकता है, researcher बन सकता है, अच्छा, investor बन सकता है, tax practitioner बन सकता है. These are all fine. Beyond that also there are like some politician बन सकता है, network administrator बन सकता है, developer बन सकता है, data scientist हो सकता है. All right. So these all are other avenues which are open now. Okay. Marketing में जा सकता है, HR भी जा सकता है. Very good. This one, MS sir. Next one is, they keeping these goals in mind only, broader goals only in mind. We need to devise our curriculum. The next one is, like to, before evolving a curriculum, people from education are professional in these aspects, in the theoretical context, how the curriculum is evolved. Basically, one need to keep in mind the objectives. one need to keep in mind the objectives. Now, objectives of what? Our curriculum's objective is to cater to the objective of the learner. Our learners should be interested. Now, we need to market our curricula. We need to market our curricula. We need to design in a manner that it is well sold. It is well liked by the people. Okay, so it should contain more of the activities, less of the lecture classes. More of the activities, less of the lecture classes. Okay, so that's one thing that is always essential. Then it has to address the verticals, career verticals, subject verticals. All right, students' careers vertical should be addressed in each of the courses. At the same time, but we have to also keep in mind that what is the prerequisite for. All right, so it should our code contain the prerequisite of the next stage. Okay, so if it is taxation is a career, then in that case we will have some direct taxes, and the next will be the higher part will be indirect taxes, direct taxes, clubbing up of income. I think the government is going to change that. Okay, so those all must be the part. Then again, corporate tax details. Okay, this way we have to arrange our curricula. At the same time, one should be able to exit after learning simply income, salaries, and exit to other part as well. Okay, so this is how our courses must be designed. We should not go much in depth and vast syllabi in a manner that people, students, distracted, because we have now only 3 months to cover each and every syllabus, and all of have Saturdays and Sundays in between. Public holidays are the student. At the same time, what the subject we need to design, giving time available for delivering the content to the students in the effective manner. So this has to be student centric. Next one is curriculum should be flexible. Okay, curriculum should be flexible enough to adjust, because we know that our domain of dynamic subjects. So to accommodate those changes, like there are any changes in the law, so that we need to incorporate. Okay, and then teach it to our students instead of sticking to the old syllabus. All right. So one way to educate them. See, whatever we are doing, it's as per the syllabus for this very semester, but then from next time onwards, the syllabus is going, because there is a change in the law and the rates. Okay, foundation must be given for every course. We need to give some prerequisite must be always given to them, such that they can excel for the in their career later on. Okay, so that's how it is. So this is how a rationalized curriculum. Next one is challenges for a curriculum development. So challenge development in commerce. So we have diversity of domain knowledge. Knowledge is very diverse. Okay. Change is the consistent. Change is the only constant for many of the subjects that we are teaching. Okay. Companies Act 1956, then amended 2013. Then again we have CSR aspect included therein. Okay. Then one-man company is also there. Okay. So these many things are changing in the corporate. When we find we had earlier banking system, fine, we have checks, drafts, etc., hundis and all we used to teach, but now we have a QR code. Okay, we used to, our financial management delves into the lags. Okay, but then now there are no lags. Lags are there in a different form in all. Okay, lags were earlier counted on the basis of the systemic requirements. Okay, but now the systemic requirements are gone. So as and when so we revisit those very courses wherever we are teaching that lag due to systemic component in the financial transactions. Okay, so likewise change is consistent in our subjects, so we need to keep in mind and then keep on revising or keep a clause in the first draft syllabus itself that as and when there are changes, they'll be incorporated after 6 months and all. So my Sikkim University syllabus was designed, but at the same time I realized every 6 months we cannot be changing the subject contents through various channels, like we have departmental committee, then again we have board of studies, then school board, in between the curriculum development committee. So through all these channels it has to go through, and then it takes another 1 year. Then by the time it is accepted, it becomes outdated. So instead, what we can do is that we can involve a clause that, okay, whatever is applied in the subject domain area in the field, so that becomes a part of the syllabus within 3 months of its implementation, so that we can include it in our syllabus uh, for the required heading, okay, for the required unit or subunits. Next is variety of objectives. As I mentioned that there are so many objectives. So how shall we cater to the requirement of each and every student's requirement? That's one thing. All right. So each objective requires a specialized attention. That's why we need a specialized manpower. So how much the limited number of people who are interested in the academic field could specialize themselves other than in their own area of interest, okay, to cater to the requirement of diverse number of students, okay, diverse demand from the market, from the job market, okay. So that's one of the challenge we have. Though all our teachers have, as observed, are picking up these programming languages like R, Python, Tableau, SPSS, etc., Excel, and all. They're doing very well. Okay, so most of us are learning all these things. Most of us are uh, updating ourselves as far as computer application is concerned. But then again, the other side is still remaining. These stock market aspect, derivatives, then again, foreign investments. For these subjects are also very much dynamic. So we need to be updating in that area as well. The next one is institutional perception. How does institution visualizes our stream as? Okay, is it one subject or it's a full-fledged stream? Do we have those many students? All right. Will there be a good revenue model? So being a commerce teacher, we need to keep in mind these aspects before we introduce any course. So finally, we have opportunities. Okay. So what are the opportunities that we need to identify? First and foremost, we need to identify and redefine the objectives. Okay. What are the objectives that are there of the students? How they are defining? Okay. Then how past conventional objectives were there? How last year students had an objective? How this year students are having an objective? Okay. So once we know their objectives, then our delivery of the talks within the courses should also be adjusted accordingly. Okay. So wherever you find that we find that our students are not interested in the theoretical components more, so then we go for activity based. Then wherever we find that activities are boring them, so we can always shift towards the theoretical aspects. Okay, so then we need to relate them to the real world events. Okay, daily reading the newspaper as one of the good habits. Okay, keeping track of the stock prices, keeping track of the GDP rates, WPI. Okay, these all things will pay attention on time. Courses. So courses that are there, already there conventionally, may be done away with or may be modified to include certain components that are skill based. Certain components that are skill based. So what could be the skill based courses such as financial management is there? Okay, then you can ask them, why don't you devise an amortization schedule? So there, what happens? MS Excel, they will learn, or any kind of spreadsheet they will learn, and then they will evolve loan amortization schedule. Okay, so in this way, they are learning two aspects. One is data science, then the other part will be the application of the financial management aspect. Okay. So, and then again, we can ask them to visualize how the break even take place. Okay. So they can visualize it in an interactive way. So this is how it is. So we can offer certain competitive courses within every other subjects. We can include their computers related or mobile related applications and rules related to that. You can ask them so that our subjects becomes much more attractive, and then we can rename them by breaking the entire subject into a number of components, and then we can offer them across the verticals instead of conventionally for 1 year they used to say financial management one paper. So that was for 1 year. The same paper can be divided into 2 halves, and then can be offered at each semester instead of the entire 4 units in terms of the entire content of the financial management in 1 semester only, because that will be taxing for students as well as for teachers. We will not be doing justice with our intellects. Next one is, but then it's not happening because of conventional aspects again. Because of conventional aspects, we can do that. We can do that also. So we need to break the subjects. They appear to be light, but they are not that light. Next one is strategic tie-ups with enterprises and other academic institutions. So here what happens is that each institution can identify its own niche. That, okay, these are the members of faculty we have. They can perform well in these areas. So wherever other institutions are requiring, so we can always depute them. Be it nowadays we have this online mode of teaching, so we can always depute them. We can always suggest their name to other institutions. Why need to hire him? Okay, for the purpose of special classes or special talks. So across the institutions, the same persons may be teaching a similar subject. Okay, so in the same way, and there will be a course coordinator. So we have this one as it is required by our curriculum. We need tie up with business enterprises, other institutions, government institutions maybe. Our students have an objective, a government officer, or to be a part of for either of the 3 things. We need to identify curriculum-based tie-ups with various institutions such that students could get specialized knowledge and real-time exposure to the contents, to the skills that are required for an individual to survive in the market after getting the degrees or certificates from our institutions. The next one is interdisciplinary approach. Okay, so it's not always essential that we confine it, our subjects to our own domain, selected our instead. We can always invite people from other disciplines as well. Like for computer applications in bit. So in computer applications, what happens in case we do not have specialized teachers within ourselves? So we can always outsource from the computer application department. We can outsource people from law departments. We can outsource people from geography. We can outsource people from other disciplines. Okay, and then we can tell them this is the confinement within this only. If your talk is oriented, our students will get a lot of knowledge. Next one is we have on-time upgradation. So we need to upgrade on time. Okay, for the syllabus basically. We need to keep it in upgrade mode all the time. That suppose certain changes are there, certain changes are there, so they become the part of our curriculum. Beyond this, we have certain steps that could be followed, as I identified. So we have to survey the locational competence. Okay, we need to identify the locational competency. Now, we cannot have a automobile manufacturing unit in the hilly terrain, okay, and remote hilly terrain where reaching itself is very difficult. Okay, so what we can have there, okay, for the local to meet the local requirements, we need to identify the niche there, that is rural development, small scale industries, okay. Then again, organic farming. Then again, these weaving, art and handicrafts. Okay, they need to be promoted. They need to be scaled up. Okay, they are required to scale up. From Mizoram University, we have a very good example also. Okay, so one strike project was there with Department of Commerce, and then Ma'am Rama has played some instrumental role, and then one company was also formed. Okay, so this is how, if we do the locational competency survey, and then based on the manpower, based on the region, based on the available resources, okay, one can identify a unique proposition. So where students could be motivated to learn, where people from other places could also visit and learn. Okay, the next one is manpower orientation. So there's always a resistance. Okay, for any new thing, there is always a resistance. Okay, so when resistance is there, one need to overcome the resistance by accepting the challenges, by upgrading ourselves, and then accepting what is true all about. Okay, it is difficult for any grown-up person to accept that. I cannot be weak in my eyesight. All right, it may so happen. So that's due to the habit. So we have to do away with our usual habits. To be in business, we need to so manpower requires orientation. Likewise, being teacher, we also need to orient our students. This is the conventional way, and these are the new contemporary methods of teaching, learning, and then the contemporary techniques that we need to revive. Okay, for the means post graduation, one need to be in the market. Means what is market demanding? Accordingly, we need to study, and we need to be part of the society. The next one is identification of institutional niche. So what is the competency of our institution? That is very, very much important. So being in commerce, we have a number of people with various research aspects, being of their competency. Okay, each individual may be having their own competence. Their competences are to be mapped, and then accordingly, those courses are to be evolved and students are to be attracted. It is not that students are not interested. All students are interested in one or the other thing. Every institution may not be providing everything. Okay, so each institution will have its own competency. So students interested in that X competency should be sent to the X competency. Okay, so in what happens? Needs are matched. Next one is, once needs are matched, you find that we can make miracles. Okay, miraculous development. Next one is networking for focused verticals and pooling skills. Okay, networking across institutions is essential. Networking within the departments, across the departments within the institution is also equally important, such that now we have these elective courses. Okay, so where what happens? Each department is offering something. Can exchange means opt for the courses of their interest area. Okay, so there what happens? Within the institution, there is a good networking due to the NEP. But then across the institutions also it is essential. Next one is evolution of institution-wise unique courses. So we need to have our competency, we need to have our own unique course, which becomes a kind of brand ambassador for our enrollments of students. And then once the students are successfully clearing the program, they are also pledged accordingly with satisfaction, or they are also opting for their career as a researcher or as an academician with us. So that's what was my discussion all about today. So Thank you very much. Kalamita. Any questions? Hello, dear participants.
Yes, you are audible.
Could you hear me? Sir, any questions are there, sir?
So far, no questions. Some comments only are there. Means your question, response to your questions are there, but nothing in form of question.
I find only five, not more than 5 candidates are responding.
Yeah. One question came, I think. How to identify the demand of industry?
Answers here. So, dear participants, if any questions are there, I'm
Yeah. One question is there. How to identify the demand of industry?
very good, sir. Madhavan, sir, thank you very much. So, actually, industry demand can be identified by way of the uh, advertisements they need. By way of visiting them only, we can make it out, sir. We need to visit them constantly, and then we find. Actually, one of the industrialists I just had an interaction. They say we get a lot of applicants, but then our demand is this type of personality, that type of answering personality they mention. Okay, so we need to have a tie-up with the industry. Then only we will know the demand of industry. We need to have a tie-up. Without tie-up, we will not be able to know. From far distance, we cannot make out. Even from the secondary sources also, it is difficult to make out what is the industry's requirement actually. Unless the students are sent, unless the industrialists visit us, and then they design the curriculum for us, like the practice in Vietnam. What they do is that uh, they have they have given training to the students. Then later on, in the later stage, what they did at the initial stage, they took students as an apprentice or interns. Okay. Later on, they realized one thing is that if these education institutions, since it's a small country, so they can always opt for industrialists, they have visited the academic institution and said that we need this type of manpower for us. So these are the contents in the curriculum that if they are made, if they are included, then the students could be directly available for the market, job market. So that's how it is, sir. Well, we need to have industry tie-up first. We need to have one or the other industry tie-up, then only we could make out what is the industrial demand. However, whatever we read in the news is past. It's a history. Okay, which is not a projection. It is just a past. Of course, it throws some light in projection, but then not exactly. Because when it comes to actual application, sir, we need to have a tie-up with the industry first. We need industrialists visiting us. Okay, for that, of course, we need to have efforts from our institutional efforts encouraging such visits. Madhavan sir, is it okay? Do I address your question, sir?
Yes, another question is there. What are the methods to improve the curriculum by retaining the traditional concepts and upgrading the new subjects?
Sir, it's a wonderful question, sir. Actually, the thing is that we need to keep our foundations of our subjects, theoretical foundation of our subjects in the introductory note. Then, in the later stages, what happens? We can take care of the advances. Like we used to have it in the third or fourth units. We can always have advances therein. And then suppose if a particular unit is dealing with, say, GST laws, okay? So number of components included in the GST are excluded. So that can be flexible And then below the below the syllabus itself, we must mention that it will be upgraded as and when certain declarations are made by the government on paper and they are effective. So they can be included as our part. Likewise, company law. Okay. And likewise, these any other like subjects on say computer applications or anything, or fintech or e-commerce laws or cyber security. Okay, so these are some of the papers which are much more dynamic. So there we can always, like in accounting theory, also we have IFRS. So we can always upgrade the curriculum within 3 months, and then we can teach them. Okay, so that gives the instructor a flexibility to include the new one, the latest contents. And we should always expose our students to the various websites that are demanding, like WT, the World Bank is there, IMF is there. These websites we need to expose them, and then there are free trainings which are offered therein. Okay, for all the people. So from there they will absorb the skilled ones, interested ones. They'll identify, and after those training programs, they may absorb them also. So payments could not only be in terms of rupees, but in US dollars. Okay, so that also work from home type of aspects are there. Thanks for that minute of answer. Thank you very much, sir. Madhavan sir, thank you for encouraging. Rajesh sir, am I answering to your question exactly?
You already answered, Rajesh. Next question is from Ashok Sharma. He's asking how frequently the syllabus.
Madhavan sir, also I answered.
Yeah. This is next question, Ashok Sharma. This is in Q&A box if you can open. Q&A.
Sure, sir. I'll go. There are 4 questions are there. Yeah.
Yes.
4 questions were there. Yeah. Thank you, sir. Sir, how frequently the syllabus has to be reviewed and updated to keep pace with the rapidly changing commerce environment? Sir, as I mentioned that in the syllabus itself, if we give a rider that so and so developments related to say banking, so in that very section, okay, be it on remittances, okay, methods of electronic remittances. So there we can mention any new methods are there or any new regulations are there will become the part of the curriculum. Okay, instantly. So instantly from the date of their implementation, from the date of their legal implementation, not during the testing period, but during the after the post implementation, we will give them. Okay. So Ashok sir, that we can always do that. In our thing, they have passed it. Surabhi, ma'am. Sir, what is your opinion on commerce curriculum and employability of commerce students in the universities? Wait a moment, ma'am. How to promote Agia? Sir, what is your opinion on commerce curriculum and employability of commerce students in the industries? Ma'am, students are employable in the industries provided they have good amount of internship. All right, they need to undergo some training. They need to undergo some training. Educational institutions should have some kind of tie-up so that our students are working as interns, and then they will understand that what is what is the requirement of industry, so that student could tune up themselves. Because our subjects give some foundation knowledge only at the UG level. Specialized skills that only the industry will know that what type of specialized skills are expected from them. CGST tax filing, a person knowing the aspects of GST, a person knowing how to operate a software can do that wisely. All right. That's how it is. Then for auditing and all, we have the ICAI, okay, and ICMI. Those students who are focused towards those ICAI type of institutions, they will be doing chartered accountancy, and simultaneously they'll be absorbed by the industry the moment they complete their course, because they are directly exposed to the industry itself. From the UG curriculum also we have company secretaryship courses. Okay, parallelly they can perform those. Okay, and then they can be a part of that institution. Okay, so leaving aside these bodies, apex bodies, we can always identify. We can do it better in a way to have an industry type. That will be our approach. Okay, students' approach will be ICAI, the ICMI, ICWI, etc. These all things they will perform. But then when it comes to institution, ours is industry orientation. We need to send them to industry directly, and then local locational aspects we can take advantage of local aspects, and then we can see that they are employed. And then students' interest in the industry towards the employability aspect. So, Ravi, ma'am, I think I've answered you. Sir, should there be a national standard for core commerce syllabus, or is it better to allow flexibility for universities to cater to regional and institutional priorities? Of course, Ashok sir, your question is the only dilemma for which I have chosen this topic. There are several topics on this earth with carbon finance, etc. Many things were there. I thought of picking up one of them, but instead, due to this exposure to the uh, NEP syllabus drafting, of course, the efforts are there on the part of the government also to offer some kind of standard curricula for the commerce. Okay, so some foundational courses will be common, but whereas regional requirements are equally of significance. Okay, like we have this WSGs, like we have this microfinance. Okay, so these things are much more prevalent in case of remote places, and we have these MSMEs. Then we have small entrepreneurs. So they are equally important. But institutional priorities, of course, institutional are there to are in should be in line with the learners' priorities. So that's how I would answer this question. Institutional priority should be learner's priority, and our priority should be to accommodate the learner's priority in our curriculum. So that's how, Ashok sir. I know you'll be knowing that it's a very diplomatic answer type, but it has to be like that only. Next one is for commerce students, any new courses available apart from existing? So we have data science modules now. So we have data science modules available. We can always make it a part for be it for human research data analytics, be it for financial data analytics, be it for marketing data analytics, everywhere that is there, we should always include them and make it as a part of our fourth unit. Okay, and such that it becomes much more attractive. And free online programs are available like Python, R, etc. So we can use them to show the data analytics. How to push the commerce graduates to top level management level, as majority of all from management engineering professional courses. Very good, Madhavan sir. This was the confusion that I had, because of which I started. I took up this topic. We have, however, each of these top positions, again, they go for cost and benefit analysis. So, and that's there, sir. Then this is very difficult question to be addressed, because people have their own skills. It's not that only these people are there on the top. Now, I have come across some new upcoming micro organizations, small organizations. All right. So there we have BCom students who are doing better. Okay. BCom with, of course, they are again adding up their value by studying some management MBA related courses, and then they are also leading as CEOs and directors. So they are also there, sir, after BCom. Then again, creative thinking is of utmost significance, sir. Creative thinking is of utmost significance. Rationalization is is of utmost significance. So these exercises are must. And next, Subhashish, sir. How to promote faculty interchange program with foreign universities. Sir, we have this ICS portal is there to help us with all that. Is the employability of commerce graduate higher in comparison to arts and science graduate? If yes, how can we improve the employability of other streams? Sure, sir. Other streams, sir, this question is subjective to the learner. Okay. If a learner is determined irrespective of the streams, they get. Commerce is just an example. Okay, in this very talk, commerce is just an example. Don't take it that it's not for other subjects. Other subjects should also visualize it in the same way. And then arts are also equally employable. Science graduates are also equally employable. Okay, so there is no deviation that who is more employable. There is no such thought. Actually, it's up to the learner, how the learner has taken the curriculum in the pursuit of their career. So that is of again higher significance. Institution will provide. Our students also, they get a lot of knowledge related to economics and sociology, etc., geography and all. So they are also equally employable in research projects, etc. And science graduates for the industry labs and all, they are employable. So that's how it is. How to promote faculty research program that I have given, and what else is remaining? So no open questions.
No more questions now.
Thank you, sir.
So thank you for your nice presentation. One more, I think, came in Q&A.
All right. Q&A only.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
apart from graduation, are students expected to learn value-added courses? Of course, sir, value-added courses are of higher significance alongside the core area or competency area of each and every stream, because they will. That's all, sir.
Okay. Thank you, sir. On behalf of all the participants, you got many questions, so they must be attentively listening to you. Thank you for sparing time, and additional thanks for a very urgent call last evening I gave, because the session schedule today was with someone else, but he got something, some illness was there, so he requested to change. Uh, then I directly called Professor Shankar to change, and he immediately agreed to change. So it was possible. Otherwise, it could have been a problem for us to manage this session. So the original schedule today was Hitesh Solanki. So he will be taking that session on 10th of December, second session. So it is an interchange between Shankar and Hitesh. So sessions will be there. So thank you, Professor Shankar, for joining us and elaborating. So thank you all. And thanks to all of you. And we'll be starting our next session sharp at 11:30. So do join us at 11:30. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
And one more information to all the participants. To all the participants that our present Sankarji, you may leave if you want.
Yes, sir. How to screen has
Exit is there.
Yeah, exit is there.
Yeah. Leave.
Right.
Yeah, leave is there.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I will be sharing a link after this. I will be sharing a link for your presentation session, which will start at 1. You have to register in that session. So you got some 7-8 minutes in this session itself. So I'm going to share you that link. So try to register on that, and then at 1 we will start our presentation. But before that, you have to register with your name and email. That's all, and then you will get an link on your email. So do it before 11:30 so that we can have our 11:30 session. And for 11:30 session, we are going to have Professor Jyotish Prakash Basu. He is former Vice Chancellor of West Bengal State University, Kolkata. And he is going to talk on transition from inclusive growth to inclusive green growth. So do join at 11:30, and I'm sharing the link in the group. So register on that for presentation. See you all at 1:30.